Before they paved Market, you could tell the time by the wind and dust. In that movie, they drive by Uncle Fred's tailor shop. Right there, you can see a couple through the window of the Victorian. On the fountain, try to remember that the bay isn't just low tide. We are more than that. The Slowdown is a production of American Public Media in partnership with the Poetry Foundation. This project is supported in part by the National Endowment for the Arts on the web at arts.gov.
Travel is one of life's great rewards, and there's always something new to see and experience when you travel the world like I do. Hi, I'm Rick Steves. Join me as we get better acquainted with the world each week on Travel with Rick Steves. Together, we'll explore fascinating sights, discover amazing food, and make new friends from near and far. Your radio is the only passport you'll need. Join us for Travel with Rick Steves, Saturday afternoons at 1 on KSJE.
Wednesday morning here on KSJE, and it's time to take our weekly trip to the Encouragement Lab. That is where Dr. Mike Hattabaugh is standing by to join us this morning. Good morning, Dr. Hattabaugh.
Good morning.
Thank you for being with us. And this morning you are going to get us all paying attention because you're telling me that we're all hypocrites.
Yep. Yes, you are a hypocrite, and
really?
So am I.
We all are. Okay.
Yeah, so
interesting.
So it's almost Thanksgiving. We're a week out from Thanksgiving, and I often see a lot of my friends talk about, I can be friends with you if you're like me, and that's all Thanksgiving's for. Thanksgiving's about being thankful for people that aren't like you. And here's the reality: is all those horrible things you call other people, you are usually most of them.
Oh,
especially the ones that bother you the most.
Okay. Interesting. So, well, how do we change that? We don't want to be that person, do we?
Well, I mean, there's a bunch of studies on projection and how we, the very thing that we struggle with the most are the qualities about people that we don't like. And that's not to say that's the same thing with every quality, but I just want to point that out that in reality, we're just all hypocrites. That we despise people for getting angry, and then we get angry.
Right.
We despise people for saying things that are unhealthy, and then we say things that are unhealthy. Interesting.
Okay.
So that's a quality of the human race, unfortunately. And my theology tells me different answers from this than my education, but it doesn't matter which one of those angles you come from. Ultimately, we have to admit as humans that we're flawed people. And this idea that we're supposed to be perfect, and this idea that we have redeeming qualities, I think is often proven to be false. And I actually think that's a good thing. That I think the next decade we're actually going to refine this reality that we don't have to only hang out with people that we agree with, that we can hang out with people we disagree with because we disagree with ourselves, and that's what makes us hypocrites.
Interesting. Wow. Well, that certainly is a lot to unpack there, but it certainly makes me think about some of the things we talked about in the past too, Dr. Hattabaugh, like social media and our echo chambers and things like that, right? If we just surround ourselves with people that think the way we do, we're not really growing, are we?
No, and realize that a lot of our communication, and I do this as well, is so that we can feel good about the things we question. So I don't really know what's right, but I'm going to pick a side and then see if I get a bunch of positive feedback to see if I'm right.
Right. Or I won't maybe seek out people that disagree with me.
Right, because that's too painful, and we also have all these false paradigms of who they are and what they are.
Right.
And I love reading those kind of stories. One that I remember seeing fairly recently is, I went to a Trump rally and I was surprised what I found. And that was a good example of somebody thought they were going to find a bunch of raving lunatics, and instead they found some pretty normal people, and that surprised them, right? And I would say the same thing. I'm sure some people that, if any Trump supporters went to a Biden rally and met some people, they'd say the same thing. Say, wow, they're pretty normal, aren't they?
Right. Well, and go ahead.
I was just with a group of people this last weekend that I know is very diverse politically. And what's funny is I enjoyed my time with them again. That was really nice. I didn't feel the tension, even though, the election's still being debated by some people. This group of people was finally like, yeah, we can have normal conversations now. And I was like, man, we're hypocrites about life.
But that's refreshing that no one was screaming at each other.
No. And I mean, this group of people never did scream with each other, but you could just feel the tension before. Yeah. And now it was gone. It was like, yeah, let's be friendly and talk about things that aren't so splitting of us. And the reality is we're capable of that as human beings.
Nice.
And I will say that, the world is full of places that decided, no, I can't be your friend again. And that never ends well. But people that say, you know what, I think you're a bozo with your beliefs, but I can be your friend anyway. As long as you don't, continue to harass me with your beliefs, I can let go of mine for a little bit if you'll let go of yours. And that's what to me is important. And the idea of this message today is yeah, you're a hypocrite too. So quit calling pointing those fingers at, remember you point a finger, you got 3 at least and a thumb aiming back at you.
Right.
And yeah, I just see that all the time. People that just say, oh yeah, but those people, and I'm going, wow, but you just said this.
Yeah, true. Well, that's good advice, I think, as how we can maybe move forward, right? If we admit that we're hypocrites, but so are you, and we can just move forward and move along, right?
But Scott, you just nailed the hard part. It's hard for us to admit,
right,
that we're that.
I know. Well,
you're
helping me do that. Thank you, Dr. Hattabaugh.
You're welcome.
Good to speak with you. That is Dr. Mike Hattabaugh. He is with me every Wednesday from the Encouragement Lab right here on KSJE Farmington.